What am I doing? I'm on vacation. You know what I'm doing? Today I'm giving you 5 movies to watch on Netflix right now, just in case you're looking. What's up, Flick fans? Very simple video. Today I'm giving you 5 movies on Netflix that I would recommend to you. You know why? Because we're always looking for something to watch. I'm always looking for something to watch. And these are 5 films that I enjoy watching, have a little bit of passion for. I'm also going to tell you the movies that I think are significant that are leaving at the end of July. So you got 2 weeks. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Also, yeah, I'm at the beach, but there's only a few weeks left in July, so it's crunch time, baby. Here's some of those movies leaving the platform in a couple of weeks. You have 2 A24 movies, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. 2 wonderful films. How about The Woman King from 2 years ago? I enjoyed that one, as well as Waves. That's another A24 film. Why didn't I lump those together?
You idiot.
If you haven't got your Keanu fix in a while, you have a couple weeks left to watch The Matrix and 2 out of the 3 of its sequels, so get that trilogy in quick. How about Moneyball 2011, one I actually just rewatched on Netflix. This is a great film if you're a baseball fan, if you're a sports fan, and one of Brad Pitt's best performances from 2011. And then Shrek. You know, they just announced a Shrek sequel, and of course they're taking it off Netflix to celebrate that for some reason. Role Models, silly comedy from 2008, but one that's underrated. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. How about King Richard? Look, I know they slap, but this was one of his best performances. You want a stupid movie, you want a schlocky film, crazy. If you've never seen Anaconda, you have to see it. Quotable, silly, over-the-top, ridiculous fun. Fatal Attraction. This one's iconic for a reason. Michael Douglas, Ann Archer, you can't go wrong there. And then finally, American Graffiti, a fantastic movie starring Ron Howard and Richard Dreyfuss, directed by George Lucas, one of those slept-on George Lucas films. And now let's get into the 5 films that aren't leaving Netflix next month.
We're adding a little something to this month's sales contest. First prize is a Cadillac Eldorado. Second prize is a set of steak knives.
We're going to start going all the way back to Glengarry Glen Ross. Now, I know a lot of you all are younger. You may not have watched this film if you like Al Pacino or numerous other familiar faces that I'll talk about here in a second. This is the one for you. Here's the basic premise. You have 4 real estate agents, and they're told they need to sell some property very fast or they are out of a job. And this turns into one of the most crazy, chaotic movies you will watch, but it runs strictly through the dialogue. Not a lot of bells and whistles there. Very simple premise, but it works so beautifully and so effectively. It's a workplace drama with a crime element. You have Alan Arkin, Alec Baldwin, Jack Lemmon, and of course, Al Pacino. I mean, a stacked cast beyond that. Ed Harris, Jonathan Pryce, and across the board, some of the best performances you'll ever see, man. Chaotic. I've seen a lot of people say, well, yeah, if you work in this type of setting, this represents exactly what it was like at that time. And for 1992, it's one of those movies you can watch today, absolutely love just as much as you did however many years ago that is. I don't have time for math. Let's move on.
You stupid. And I know that you 2 boys are just 2 weary travelers who lost your way. So,
how about a more recent one that I found on Netflix and I'm like, oh my God, everyone has to see this if they haven't seen it already. If you didn't listen to me the year it came out, that's Peanut Butter Falcon. Please go watch this. Shia LaBeouf, who had some things going on right after this movie came out, but his performance is great. Dakota Johnson is great if you watch Madam Web. Cleanse your palate with Peanut Butter Falcon, but Zach, our main character, is awesome. He has Down syndrome. He runs away from this residential nursing home, and Shia LaBeouf's character's kind of running into him along the way. Dakota Johnson's going after both of them, and the adventure that they go on is one of the most wonderful, charming, and just lovely adventures you're going to watch. Yes, it just came out a couple of years ago, but I still know a lot of people who haven't seen it. Please go watch it if you need something to see.
Hey.
Busy.
I don't want to take up a ton of your time, but I'm gonna kill myself. I just thought that an adult should know.
Wow. Then you have The Edge of 17. Woody Harrelson and Haley Steinfeld. I didn't know what this was going to be when it came out. Turned out to be one of the funniest films of that year. I kid you not. And it's basically our main character, Nadine, going through high school. Woody Harrelson is her teacher that she confides in, and everything that she experiences along the way is just hilarious from start to finish. Some of the moments are over-exaggerated, but it's a very relatable teenage movie that doesn't take things overboard and isn't stupid. A lot of movies covering that time in your life, they're stupid. This one's on Netflix. It's good. It's worth a watch.
Are you sure about that?
As a quadriplegic, it must be frustrating for you, someone who liked to get things done with their hands.
I want you to know, and a lot of people have seen this, but I really want to talk about it. If you haven't seen Upgrade, directed by Lee Winnell, you're missing out on one of the coolest sci-fi movies of the decade, or that decade, not this one. This is what Venom would be like if it was, how do I word this? More interesting. I think that's a good way to put it. And it's funny because a lot of people said Logan Marshall Green was like discount Tom Hardy, but he's not in this movie. He's just really great. And this is everything you want a sci-fi futuristic type of movie to feel like, but the concept of this machine running through him, giving him the abilities that he has to take on the villains, but also move his way through this plot that is just super intriguing. I remember being blown away by this film, the way it was filmed, the look, the aesthetic, the vibe, and just the overall concept. Feeling familiar, but doing its own thing. And that's cool. I'm telling you, you've got to see this movie.
Your mother and I really are under a lot of pressure at the moment.
We had a look at our accounts and...
They're taking you out of school.
Look, I'm pretty sure I did this video years ago, and one of the movies I recommended is this movie, and it's back on Netflix, and I want everyone to know it's back on Netflix, and I want you to know if you haven't seen it, we can't be friends. I mean, we will be friends. I promise. Maybe you don't want that, but we will be. But you have to see this movie, because it's perfect.
It was perfect.
I tried to show someone in my family seeing Street once. They were on their phone the whole time, and I just remember being so devastated by that experience. Have you ever done that? You're so excited to show somebody something, they just ignore it the whole movie. Everyone else I show loves the film. It's perfect. A young lad, played by Ferdy Walsh-Pilo, notices a girl, decides to start a band. The band is wonderful. The music's fantastic. John Carney's direction is absolutely perfect. And he thinks he's falling for her. She doesn't know she's falling for him. She's older. She's cooler. But there's something going on with everyone. And the way this band forms, and the way this band performs, and the way my heart warms, it rhymes. It's one of my signature, like, you have to see that to get to know me, to get to know who I am as a movie lover. It's one of my movies. It's in my top 10 of all time. It's just that wonderful. It will put a smile on your face. I promise you that. It's emotional. If you have a brother or sister and you have a bond with that brother or sister, there's a character played by Jack Grainer, and oh my God, that moment. I've said enough. It's perfect.
It was perfect.
So there are 5 movies worth watching on Netflix in the month of July, and a couple of films that are leaving that I think you should check out as well. So let me know if you'd like to see videos like this for other streaming platforms, or if we should do this monthly, because things change. There are plenty of films to recommend. I'd like to dig deeper. I wanted to stay simple this first time around. And of course, leave your count below. Out of all the films I mentioned, how many have you seen? I think that's the coolest part about this. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for recommending. And do you have a movie that you would recommend to me? I'll see you soon.